So in our last video, we discussed about the type of data, different types of data, where we are learning about number type of data, uh, like integer, float, and complex type of data. So we discussed about in number, the range of number data type is from minus n to plus 1, plus n. For float, the range is from minus n.n to plus n.n. And for complex, it is a collection of real and imaginary value. So here 2 is the real value and 9 is the imaginary value, where j indicates under root minus 1. Okay, so these things I hope is clear. Now we are going to understand a different types of data which is called string. So string data type in Python. Okay, now let me tell you one thing. Anything which you are going to write in between single, double or triple quote, that is called a string in Python. Okay, so anything which you are going to write in between single, double or triple quote is called string in Python. Okay, so here I'm writing 2. So now this 2 becomes a string type of data. Okay, any of the option you can choose, it's totally up to you. Now you may ask me, or you can have some query, that why ma'am is using triple quote. It is indicating a comment type of comments, no? So that I'll discuss later. Okay, but first of all, you need to understand this point is whenever you are going to use single, whatever you are going to add in between single, double or triple quote, that is basically called string type of data in Python. One more thing, a string is a collection of characters. A string is a collection of characters in other type of data. Okay, in Python also, in Python there's a difference, and the difference is, suppose if I'm using your ABC, so ABC is a string in other type of data. Okay, in Python as well. But the thing is, and in other programming language, A is a character. So the character collection of character becomes string. Like ABC, A is a character, B is a character, C is a character. So collection of character becomes string. Okay, but in Python, collection of character also defines a string, and a single character also defines a string. So there is no concept of character here. Okay, here each and everything is a string, which whatever value we have in between inverted is basically called string. Okay, one more thing, and that is, if I'm writing your ABC, it looks like this. First we have A, it is sequential. Okay, B and C. Okay, so like collection of character, collection of string, again called string. We have some index value also for that, which starts from 0 up to n. So 0, 1, 2. We have negative indexing as well for that, because it is a collection of strings, no, or collection of characters. So what if you just want to access B or C or A? In that case, you can use the indexing to access one by one value from the string. It allows reverse indexing as well. Okay, suppose I'm storing it into X. Okay, like this, X is equal to ABC. So internally it looks like this. Now, from here, if I want to access the whole ABC, I can print the value of X. Or what if I just want to extract this A from here? In that case, you can use X square bracket of index value of this A. So index value of A is either 0 or minus 0. Anything you can use here. So either 0 or X of minus 3, both of them are giving you the output as a single A. Same way, if I'm using here A of minus 2 or X of 1, that will give you B, and X of minus 1 or X of 2, that will give you C out of it. Okay, this is how it works. I hope this part is clear to all of you. Now let's do all that thing in practical as well. So for that, for a string, let me just write all these things over here. So string data type. Okay, now, so anything which you are writing in between single, double, or triple quotes, that is called string type of data. So I'm using here x is equal to ABC. Okay. At first I'm using here a single quote ABC. Okay. And let me just print the value of x and the type of x here. Let's see what is the output here. Run. Okay. And you can see ABC belongs to class string. Same way. Let me just use here another variable y also. And in place of now, I'm using here double quotes. Okay, let's see. Let me just copy it from here, Control C, and V, Y, and type of Y. Let's see. You can see here, both of them belongs to string class. Same way, I'm using here Z, ABC. Okay, Control V, and this time for Z here. So any of the option you can choose, either single, double, or triple quote to define your string type of data. Run this code and you can see the proof here. And the last one, let me use here W. Okay, and here I'm using triple quote again. You can see the difference in all of them. B, W, and W. Okay, let's run this code and now you can see the answer. So all of them is going to define the same type of data, which is a string. So any of the option you can choose here. But you may ask the question that, ma'am, why you are using triple quote here? Why the Python is not understanding it as comment? Why it is understanding as a string here? It is because of, if you're directly writing here ABC, no, in triple quote, Python understand or Python interpreter understands it as a comment. Okay. So if I'm going to print it like this, or directly if I'm going to, uh, let me just how I can prove it. So if you're just writing it like this, it will understand it as a comment. Okay, it will not execute. No output will be there. Okay, or let me write it like this: triple A. If I'm using here A triple quote A. Okay, so you can see it will give you A. Okay, now the next thing is it understands it as a string here. Okay, so directly if I'm using here, it acts as a multi-line comment. Okay. But if I'm going to store it into a variable like X, now it becomes a string type of data. Okay. So if we are not storing any value which is in triple quote, then it's called comment. But when you're going to store that value into a variable, that becomes a string type of data. I hope this part is clear to everyone. So this is the main difference. Now, let me comment it out everything. Now you can see here because they're using double, triple quote here. No, that's why it is not validated. So for now, I'm going to remove it from here. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay, here also. Now, the next thing is after doing it. Now, so all the option you can use to define a string type of data. One more thing. Suppose if I'm using here A is equal to X, Y, Z here. Okay. And I'm printing here the value of X. Okay. Let's see. Print. Okay. You can see the output here. Okay. X is not defined. Let's see. Let me use here A. Okay. And the type of A as well. Run. Okay. And see, it belongs to string class. Now, the next thing is let's understand, which I already told you, the indexing in a string. Like suppose this looks like this in the memory. We have X, Y, and Z. Okay, the indexing starts from 0, 1, 2 up to N. and it allows reverse indexing as well. So -1, -2, and -3. Now, suppose if I just want to print the value of x, I mean a here, sorry, a here, okay? So you can see it will just give you xyz, the value of a. But suppose if I just want to extract x out of it, because a string is a collection of strings or a collection of characters individually. So x is individual, y is individual, z is individual. I just want to extract x out of it. So let's see how it is possible. So for that I can use here indexing. So x of 0. That will separately access this x from here. Run this code, okay, and you can see the answer. Only x is find it out. The same thing you can access by using x of -3 as well. Because doesn't matter what indexing you are using, either positive or negative, both are indicating the same value. No, that's why. So you can see the output here, x of a of 0 or a of -3 indicates the same value x. And the same thing, let me just copy the value from here. A of 1, -2, 2, and -1. Okay, you can see the output here. Okay, so if you want to extract one by one value from a string, you can apply here indexing. So to access only x, x of 0 or a of -3, to y, a of 1 or a of -2, for z, a of -2 or a of -1. Okay, a of 2 or a of -1. Any of the option you can choose. Now, this is called indexing of a string. Now, what if I want to extract more than one string from a string, like I want to extract x and z, like, or x and y. So in that case, we have different process that we'll discuss later. Let me remove this part. Now, we have some different operations are also there in a string type of data. Let me discuss that part as well. So in string, let's see what kind of operators we can work with a string. Okay, suppose in A and B, I have XYZ, or maybe I'm using here triple A and triple B. Any value you can take. Okay. Let's see which kinds of operators we can use here. First of all, I'm printing as the value of A and as well as the type of A, just to show you. Same way for B as well. So print the value of B and the type of B. You can see the output here. Okay. Now, the next thing is, let's see what kind of operators we can use. If I'm using here plus operator, so that plus operator will give you concatenation instead of addition because they're working on a string. So ABC concatenate with triple B is called triple A triple B. You can see the output here. Okay, but it will not make any changes in the original value of A and B. That will not reflect it. Okay, there is no changes in the value of n because it is called immutable type of data. String is a kind of immutable type of data. That means we can't change anything in the string. Okay, so if I'm going to print the value of a once again after concatenating it, you can see there is no difference over there. Okay, there's no difference in a and b here because it is immutable type of data. Okay, in that case it will create a new object for triple A and triple B. What about if I'm using your a minus b here? Let's see whether a minus operator perform in string or not. Run this code. And you can see here the answer is unsupported operand type. The meaning of unsupported operand type is this property is not available in a string type of data. You can't use minus operator for a string type of data. In that case only you are getting unsupported operand type. Every time if you are getting unsupported operand type, that means this kind of class or this kind of objects cannot use this particular property. Then what about A cross B? So if I'm using here A cross B, let's run this code. The output is, you can see it again we are getting the same answer. For minus we can't use string and string. Why? Because we are working with the interpreters. Line by line it executes the value. Now in this line, it got stuck. Why? Because we are getting error here. So first of all, if you want to go to the next line to execute, you need to either comment this error so that the interpreter skip this part, or you need to solve that error. So it is not possible to solve this error. So we need to just use here comment. Okay. If you are getting any error in the code, the interpreter is stuck in that particular line and the next line will not execute. Okay. Run this code. Okay. And the answer is again, you can see here type error, but the error is different here, which is can't multiply sequence by non-integer type string. That means we can use multiplication operator with the strings, but the problem is we are not using it correctly. So how we can use it correctly? Because we are multiplying with a non-integer type. So let's apply here some integer type. Let me use here 2 or maybe 3. So what is the meaning of a cross 3 here? A cross 3 is nothing but a plus a plus a, which is 3a. That means concatenation of 3 times a, which is triple a, again triple a, again triple a. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is how it looks like. Now, what about a division by b? A divided by b here. So again, you can see unsupported type of data. That means we can't use in string type of data, we can't use division. Okay. So these things, these kinds of operator we can use in string type of data. Some different functions are also there which we can work in string. Let's talk about that also. So first I'm going to comment it out. For that, let's use some basic operations on string. Okay. So suppose if I have in A I'm having I am a programming language. Okay, this is a string here. All these are in a smaller letter. Let me just use this kind of data. Programming, a mix up of upper and lower kind of data, alphabetical letter. Okay, now let me just print the value of A and the type of A here, and you can see the output. Okay, it belongs to class string. Suppose I want to convert all the value into uppercase letters. I don't want all the value into smaller, into the mix-up case. Actually, I want all the value into uppercase. So you don't need to do anything from the scratch. You can directly use it, this function, print a dot upper function. That's it. Run this code and you can see the output here. You can see all the value is converted into uppercase letters. But again, it will not make changes in the value of a. Okay, now I want to convert all the value into lower cases. So we can just use here lower. That's it. And the output is all the value converted into lower case. Same way, I want to access all the value into capitalized form also. Capitalize means whatever number of words we have, the first letter should be in capital. So P and L should be capital, and rest of the values are in lower cases. So A dot, sorry. So we have A dot capitalize function. And you can see here P and L is capital and rest of the values are in lowercase. Okay. And then the last one, title. Okay. So A dot title. You can see here in title, there is a mistake here. The mistake is actually in capitalized function, only first letter of each in all the value, the first letter of first word is capital, rest of the value into lowercase. But in title, every word having first letter as the capital letter. Okay, this is the only mistake you can see here. And for title, the first letter of all the words are in capital. So again, we have lots of other functions are also there. To check how I'm getting all these functions, what you need to do here is just open your Python shell and create any string here and just type a dot tab. Okay, and you can see all these are at different types of methods which you can use with string type of object. So any of the option you can use. Let me use here. Let's use index, or maybe some of the function I already use here. So I'm using here swap case. Okay, swap case. If you want to use it, suppose in A I have B, C, D. Okay, so I'm using here A dot swap case. Okay, it converts lower to upper and upper to lower case values. And you can see here B and D is now smaller case and C is in capital case. Same way if I'm using here A dot starts with, it starts with suppose B here. Okay, so I'm using here it starts with B. So you can see the answer is true. Yes, it starts with capital B. Okay, ends with, and lots of other functions are there. Okay, so what exactly you need to do here is you need to just try to use all these functions from here, which is very important. Okay, try to explore all the functions from the string type of data. Okay, use it, and if you're having any doubt, just take some reference from different websites, or maybe from the official website of Python, which is python.org. In the documentation part we have all the reference, or you can give me the query as well if you're having any doubt in any of the function. Okay, so all these are very important. If we are going to, when we are going to create the project, these things are very important there. Okay, so these are the basics of string. In the next video we are going to learn about list type of data in Python again, which is very important. So let's meet in the next video. Thank you.